Welcome to another episode here with Fall River Shooters. Today we have the Tikka T3x Compact Tactical. We're throwing on some 34mm Sightmark medium rings, an EGW 20 MOA base, an arc and bubble level, and most importantly, the Ares ETR 4.5 to 30 by 56. Because we want to shoot ELR with this Tikka T3x and add a 20 MOA rail, the first thing we're going to do is remove the original rail. Be careful not to lose your screws everywhere. When adding the 20 MOA rail, be sure the rail is facing the right direction and the screw holes line up. Add Loctite to each screw so that they don't come loose when shooting. Get the first screw started, then add the next 3 screws. Next, snug them all up, and finally torque them to 20 inch-pounds. Next, we will be adding the Sightmark medium rings. For proper eye relief, we left 2 visible Picatinny slots behind the rear ring and 3 visible Picatinny slots in front of the forward ring. Put pressure on the rings towards the front of the gun and torque to 50 inch-pounds. Using the Wheeler reticle leveling system, install the level on the barrel and snug it down. Hold the level on the rail to where the bubble is perfectly in the middle and make the level on the barrel match it. Finally, the fun part, installing the Ares ETR. Carefully set the scope in place, set the ring caps on top, and start the screws. You want to slightly snug the screws to where the scope can be adjusted for eye relief and leveling. It is very important to make sure that the gap on each side of the scope ring is evenly spaced. After tightening the screws, you'll want to test the scope for tightness to make sure it can be adjusted. To test for eye relief, pull the gun up to your shoulder and put your head where it naturally feels comfortable. Look through the scope. If the scope needs to come back or forward, adjust as necessary. Now that the eye relief is set, it's time to level the scope. We find it more consistent to remove the turret cap, which can be done with a coin, washer, or fat end of a key. Once removed, place your level on the turret post and adjust the scope to where it matches the level on the barrel perfectly. Now that the scope is level, it's time to tighten down the rings. Start with the center screw and snug on both sides, and then kind of like lug nuts on a car, go in a crisscross pattern and tighten to 10 inch-pounds, and then finish off with 20 inch-pounds, going in the same pattern. Once this step is done, it's time to put the cap back on and add the bubble level. After disassembling the bubble level, snap it over the scope tube just behind your turret. In trying to hold it all in place and start the screw, you'll be wishing you had 3 hands. Tighten down the screw, making sure the bubble level matches the Wheeler barrel bubble level exactly. It will take a couple of tries. Don't rush, take your time and make sure it aligns just perfect. If you have a plumb bob available, you can use that to double check. Now that the scope is ready to go, we're going to have Dominic shoot his first shot. Seeing that this shot is low and left, this shot is also at 200 yards, and so we're going to move the point of impact on the scope. We're going to go 5 MOA up and 4 MOA to the right, and fire the next shot to see how close we get. After firing the second shot, we notice it's still just a little high and a little right. We're going to have Dominic fire a second shot to see how close to the first shot that lands, and so we'll know precisely where to adjust for the next shot. After completing zeroing it in by moving the point of impact 2 clicks left and 4 clicks down, it's time to zero the turrets and set the zero stop. Once you've zeroed the scope and made sure it hits right where you want to, go ahead and remove the turret cap. There are 3 little Allen screws that hold the zero in place. Go ahead and loosen all 3 of them. Make sure the zero stop makes it all the way to the bottom and is tight all the way to the right. Once it's in place, go ahead and tighten up the 3 Allen screws around the edges. Replace the turret cap. Make sure that it lines up with 0 and you are ready to go. Thanks for watching. If you have other videos you'd like to see, let us know in the comments below. If you're looking for your next optic, check us out at fallrivershooters.com.